The first time I saw her, she was sitting in the back row of my literature seminar. Quiet, curious eyes, a messy bun she kept adjusting, and this way of leaning in when I spoke, like she was listening with more than just her ears. I shouldn't have noticed. I told myself that 100 times. She was 21, I was 35, her professor. Nothing could or should ever happen. And still, there was something about her that made the room feel warmer, made my lectures feel less like lectures, made me feel seen.
But she wasn't the kind of student who raised her hand all the time. But when she did, her voice was soft, thoughtful, never performative. I started waiting for her to speak, noticing when she didn't. By the end of the semester, I knew it was bad. Not dangerous, not inappropriate, but quietly, hopelessly impossible. I had feelings. And I buried them. Every time she lingered after class to ask a question. Every time she smiled at something I said. Every time she laughed, too close, too lovely, I reminded myself, this is a line you do not cross. So I graded her final paper, left a small note of praise in the margins, and filed her name away like a secret. And then she graduated. I didn't expect to ever see her again. But the universe, or fate, or whatever strange force pulls people back into our lives, it had other plans. It was nearly a year later. A colleague dragged me to a faculty party that spilled into a nearby bar. The music was loud, the lights too dim. I was halfway through a glass of wine when I saw her. She was standing near the bar, in a black dress, hair down, talking with a group of friends. And just like that, the air shifted. My heart did something ridiculous in my chest. I told myself I was being silly. She probably wouldn't even remember me. But then her eyes found mine. And she smiled. Not politely. Not distantly. Like she'd been waiting. Before I knew it, she was walking toward me. And everything inside me lit up and froze at once. Professor? Her voice hadn't changed, but she had. More confident. More sure of herself. Still achingly beautiful. Didn't think I'd ever see you at something like this, she said, teasing a little. I laughed nervously. Neither did I. We talked. 4 minutes, maybe hours. I don't remember. All I know is I couldn't stop looking at her. And she wasn't hiding anything. Her gaze lingered. Her compliments weren't subtle. And then, she leaned in. Soft. Slow. Her lips just inches from mine. I froze. My heart begged me to let it happen. But I pulled back. I can't, I whispered. You were my student. She smiled gently, but there was hurt in her eyes. I'm not anymore. She didn't say anything else. She just looked at me, like she saw through all the walls I'd built. And that's when I said it. I'd been in love with you since the first semester. Her breath caught. You, what? I looked down. I knew it wasn't right. I never acted on it. But it's always been there. She stepped closer. I thought I imagined it. I used to think, maybe you looked at me the same way I looked at you. I did, I said, barely able to breathe. I still do. She reached for my hand. Warm fingers, steady grip. I've loved you since then too. And suddenly, the weight I'd carried for years, it wasn't heavy anymore. It was real. It was ours. We didn't kiss right then. We didn't need to. We just stood there, hearts open. Walls down, in the middle of the party, wrapped in something quiet and unspoken. Later that night, when we sat together on a park bench beneath a soft street lamp, she leaned into my shoulder. And I didn't pull away. "I always wondered if you felt it too," she said. I smiled. "I did. Every single day." She reached up, touched my cheek. Gentle. Present. And I let myself kiss her. No rules. No secrets. Just the truth, finally allowed to breathe. We didn't rush anything. We just began. A love once held in silence. Now free to speak.